and I'm saying this, and I'm guessing that the response is going to be this would only happen in a perfect world. You should make sure that you having a child with your mate. Humans mate for life. Right. And if for whatever reason that doesn't work out, then you should be mentally willing to do what you got to do to support yourself and that child. No matter what. Now, hold on. Everybody don't have that. Now, hold on. Whether everybody have that mindset or not is not as important as what the end result is by us not taking that position. Because when we fail to take that position, we then give the enemy more ammunition to use against us. As we were just talking before, once we get the court system into our families aren't our families anymore. See, you would be far better off to invest 18, 16, 15, 12, 13 years of your life to the rearing of your child without state aid than allowing the state to come into your home and cause all the havoc that they're going to cause. Because the truth of the matter is, some men never step up to the plate. Some men step up late. And if he, or she even for that matter, because sometimes there are women caught in that situation, if they step up a little bit late, now you got all this baggage that you don't throw around their neck. So even though they want to step up and do the things that they need to do, they can't.
It's almost impossible.
Who fault?
That's how I feel. You can't dictate. Nope. You cannot.
Who fault?
Yes.
Listen, let me ask you this right here. When you say who fault, let's understand something. We are all talking about a society where sex is casual.
Correct.
That's correct.
So now if sex is casual, everything that goes along with the sex is casual too.
Wait a minute.
Ain't no wait a minute.
Yeah.
If the sex is casual, then the baby is casual.
Okay. The baby is casual.
Therefore, if the baby is casual, it ain't the man's fault. It ain't the woman's fault. It was mutual. It was casual.
That's true. So the product is not going to be just my bearing. Point blank and the period. And I'm not, and you want to sit here and act like a child as to where you don't want to put in on your responsibility. I'm going to treat you like a child. Children.
And I'm going to put the man on you.
Yeah, and you can't dictate. You cannot dictate anybody's grace. If you didn't do your part and she took measures as to what she was going to do to try to get you to do your part, it's up to her how she going to choose to handle that when the time comes for you to want to do the right thing.
Okay, you can say that.
You can't dictate anybody's grace.
And you're entitled to your opinion. But let's back up a little bit. Because ultimately what the conversation started about was our people and how to make us better. Right. So now if you're using a device to improve your situation only
to damage
and not improve
but
our
you also
situation.
Gotta look at what you're saying as far as if a woman and a man create a child and that man decides not to step up and take responsibility, if later on down the line he decides to have an epiphany like, oh, let me take care of this seed that I planted and help water it now that I'm ready to. Or that's basically saying that you can do whatever you want to do and not be held accountable for it until you're ready to assume accountability for your actions.
Or because two people decide to make a poor decision and there's a product that comes out of that, she should decide to live in an impoverished state or struggle tooth and nail, bone and blood, until he decides to be whatever it is that he want to be.
Once again, it's a double-edged sword. So there's reasons for it, but there's also means on where it is exploited.
I get that. I get it 100%.
I do think it's more exploited than used for strategic reasons.
But that's anything.
Me personally, that's just my opinion.
That's anything with the government.
I feel like, and because of that,
I think people caught on to the lick. I think within this society, people understand what the lick is.
A football player that has multiple children and he's making millions of dollars, they catch on to the lick and
who
I need this money per month. Like
the numerical value of what it takes to raise a kid. who places that financial burden? Like who
The government does.
The court system.
The court system.
The court system.
The court
I
system
feel
does.
like that's not enough anyway, because they're just going off of how much the dad is making. They're not counting everything that
But
mom.
again, that formula they designed it, like he's saying.
Okay.
They came up with that formula.
All of y'all talking about this from a parent's perspective. This is my opinion. I ain't got no kids. This is my opinion. It don't matter. Anything that happens once you involve the government, it's no longer just about solving the issue. It's no longer just about a resolution. There's going to be some exploitation in it. But instead of sitting here saying that, like trying to say that the government shouldn't be involved, period, how about developing a solution where people aren't forced to look to the government? That's the whole thing.
It's exploited to who it's exploited against. So the more wealthy, the more you get exploited. The more you poor, the more it benefits you. So if you're a non-worker, you get welfare or whatever. It's not going to hurt you that much. You taking half of nothing is still nothing. But you taking half of a lump sum, yes, it benefits you in the sort. It doesn't benefit the child per se, but yes, it will benefit your lifestyle. If I'm making $5 million and I'm giving you $5,000 to $6,000 a month, you calculate that times 12, as you have a
$60,000 income, $6,000 income.
What child needs $60,000 worth of a salary? What child needs a salary?
Do you know the average expense of of taking care of a child to put them even in
Listen
the
to this.
middle?
Let her finish. Let her finish saying what she's saying. Watch this.
To bring up a child to even make them the minimum of what a upholding citizen is, to make sure that they have the education.
What's that number?
It's more than $30,000 first year.
What is the number?
Okay, let's look it up.
Just give me a roundabout.
But
I want to hear what this number is. Give me the roundabout.
If we're talking about basic necessities, shelter, clothes, food, water, these basic necessities to keep a human alive.
That's more than $30,000. Let's just be realistic.
Let's be realistic, because there's people out here living off $30,000.
People are working at McDonald's right now for $12,000 a year.
What I'm saying is it equaling out to what a parent's contribution is supposed to be, as opposed to just a whole family in general? You get what I'm saying? Like
understand this though. Sometimes the payments that the parents are receiving is not even half of daycare.
I understand. Like
sometimes
I understand.
It's not even half a daycare. Sometimes it's not even. By the time I get what they're giving me, I'm getting my money reimbursed from what I already done paid.
So in that moment, I understand that as a child gets older, like there's no daycare, but there's no change in the amount of child support that a person has to give.
It is.
Okay.
Every 3 years they come back and they reevaluate everybody's expenses.
Gotcha.
Okay, so the first year of a child's life, as of 2017, is what it said. The average spending for basic expenses.
It's a baby.
Yes, we talking about food, formula, diapers, the basic necessities.
I already know this.
$32,000. That's somebody's annual gross income.
Pause right there. $32,000, right? So what about all these people that's living for less than $32,000?
They're going without.
Okay, so you mean to tell me everybody that's making less than $32,000, they ain't eating? They rent ain't paid?
Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they not.
No, they eating.
Listen, there's also...
I've had situations where I wasn't eating. You know what I'm saying? I've had situations where I didn't know where my next meal was coming from.
Okay, baby, maybe you have, but you ain't starving.
I've starved before.
No, you ain't never starved.
I've been in situations where I didn't even have enough money to pay my light bill. I had to wash my clothes by hand.
We getting away from the discussion.
The discussion is
this part. This is part.
This isn't. No.
I thought it was provided.
Yes, it's provided. Like, we done went left.
We done went totally left.
When it's do you not realize? Do you not realize most of this nation lives off less than $32,000?
And what is your point?
My point is, I know so many people that make less than $32,000 a year and they can't get through that door right there. So they ain't missing no meals. They got cars. They at the club every Friday night. They doing whatever the hell they want to do in their life. And I know for a fact they ain't making $30,000 a year.
You're getting away from the point.
The point that
You
I'm
are
trying to make
bring
is
up-
that number is bogus.
No, you're trying to bring up people priorities into a general conversation of what it takes to build and uphold a citizen.
I think also, I guess kind of what he's saying is like, okay, say if it is $32,000 or whatever the case is.
That
I mean,
created.
It's created, but let's say for example, like that's including what? We're including daycare. Are we including? We're including food. We're including a room and room and board.
Yes.
We're including all of that. Now, let's say for example, some people they don't put their kids in daycare, so that could be abolished in a way. You know what I'm saying? So that expense could be taken away. So then that takes that from $32,000 to what? I mean, daycare is expensive for a child.
But you can't do that. You know why? Because the number's not real.
That's what I'm
See, you can't itemize it because the number's not real.
Yeah.
You can't itemize it and then begin to deduct things because the number is not real.
Yeah.
The number can't possibly be real because the largest part of the poor population
It's probably making
lives off a number that's smaller than the number that they say that requires to rear a child.
We're not, but you can't say that
And
because
you
the
can't-
whole point of being impoverished is that you're lacking something. It don't matter if you overweight. It don't matter if you have somewhere to put your
first of all, the
head.
poverty level is what, 19,000 or 20,000, something like that. So what I'm saying is, once you live between 20 and 30,000, which is less than the 32,000, those people are not what is considered to be impoverished.
Impoverished is lacking something.
I'm not saying it's not. What I'm saying is the poverty level is 19,000.
No.
Okay, what's the
It's
poverty
been
level now?
raised.
What is it now?
Okay, let me look up poverty. Because let me tell you, you talking to somebody that work in health insurance. Now I know all about this.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say is, it's a time and a place for everything. This system can be used in your favor for the betterment of oneself, opposed to the detriment of another person, or it can be used to better the situation as a whole. Like
That's what I'm saying. What about the community?
Like, yeah.
What
like
about us collectively?
To better the entire situation,
Listen.
or it can be used to better oneself.
That's not part of the conversation. The conversation.
It's providing.
Listen, the conversation is men being providers. This
Is that
whole
not part of providing?
this whole situation
That's what I'm
of
saying.
this whole
Okay.
situation of child support started because we were talking about men being in a position where they're doing the right thing. We cannot bring up the fact that the courts being involved with child support, people exploit that because the reality is anytime there's an opportunity, whether it's federal government involved
exploit it anyway.
or exactly, somebody's always going to find a way to
That's what I'm
finesse
saying. So
something.
this is my question. Like, when you say, because I want to speak in the whole, I don't only want to speak on behalf of me. When you speak in generalized situation of doing the right thing, who's to say what is the right thing? One paying his minimal child support payments could be considered the right thing.
The right thing.
But as she just said, those child support payments barely even cover anything. So, but the law tells me all I have to do is this, and this only.
And this is
anything
good.
other
Yeah.
than that is considered a gift. But is he not doing the right thing?
Or is he doing the right
Or,
thing?
that's what I'm saying.
I'm
Who's
not-
to say what is the right thing?
I'm
when it
not
comes to
saying it
providing?
either way.
Would you look at, this is my question to you, would you look at him as a provider if he's still out?
Yeah, if he's paying them child support
Is he
payments every
paying his
month,
child
and
support payments by-
technically you could say
Is he
is he providing?
I can't say nothing. I can't say nothing about you if you're doing what they're telling you you're supposed to do, and that's where I'm coming from.
But the
the thing
definition
is,
of a provider is one
I
who
think that's-
provides.
But see,
That's the problem.
even
no,
if
that's
payment-
my whole. Like, I'm agreeing with you. I'm
Right.
saying I cannot say anything to you as a man if you're doing what it is that
What they say you supposed to do.
That's why I'm saying when it comes into that situation, If it's a situation where y'all are, where we gonna throw that term out again, co-parenting, and you doing what you got to